One of the biggest misunderstandings of first-time homebuyer programs is the misunderstanding that free money isn't necessarily free. So one thing I always like to break down with first-time homebuyer programs, couple important items to understand with first-time homebuyer programs is not every program is created equal. So different lenders, different companies are gonna have access to, say, different grants or fundraising programs. So you gotta make sure that the program that you're interested in still has funds. Often there's so many times people do a pre-qualification, they've been saving for 6 to 12 months and they come back to a different lender, whether it's with me or at a different company, and those funds are now gone. The entire time the family's planning and relying on those. That being said, there are some key things you can do to make sure the programs that you are looking into do exist. So each state, whether it's here in Oregon or Washington, has websites that you can verify the state programs. So one thing to know, Oregon bond, Washington bond, those are some fantastic programs to look into. Secondly, it's really common for different lenders to say they have a zero down program. And one thing we truly take to heart when it comes to the initial consult is to review your long-term strategy, because the zero down program doesn't always mean the best structuring of your finance. What does that even conclude to? So, for example, say you're going to get a $5,000 contribution from this program. However, they're going to charge you $2,000 in fees to get that $5,000. It's not necessarily a good use of fee to funds availability. I would rather sit down with someone, talk about that long-term strategy, see if there's some different avenues to maybe get gift funds from family members and save a little more aggressively, or talk about different overhead and payment structures, possibly looking at your auto allowances or auto structuring to reduce those overall liabilities. My main point is, like, the last thing I ever want is someone to get tripped on clickbait or some sort of zero down program that really isn't acting in their best interests. Next important thing to know is a first-time home buyer. The eligibility status of first-time home buyers is, have you had interest party investment of real estate in the last 3 years? So if you haven't owned a home in the last 3 years, you have regained that status as a first-time home buyer. Not a lot of people know that. So what does that do for me? Well, on a conventional loan, which is often regarded as the gray goose of home loan products, you can go as low as 3% down payment. And if you're at certain income restrictions, we could utilize a couple different programs to even lower your interest rate, lower your mortgage insurance, which consequently just gives you a lower monthly payment. Other first-time homebuyer programs that might not actually be a requirement for first-time homebuyer is the USDA program. So USDA is actually a particular program for rural-based properties. So these need to be out in the farmlands. These programs, though, have restrictions on minimum credit as well as household income. They do allow for you to do a 0% down payment financing. So that's another thing in some parts of Oregon that are eligible. So not necessarily in the middle of the city, whether it's Portland, Vancouver, but some of the outstretches such as like Newburgh, outskirts of Sherwood, Molalla, Canby. There's different areas that do qualify for the USDA. Extremely important to get with your lender, myself or the MLO team, to dive a little deeper on the details of the USDA.
It just starts coming down on me,
yes.
and I'm
No, you're good.
Yeah, cool.
You're good.
Thanks.
I feel good. I will just kind of let you roll with it.
Do the Govee lights seem a little weak to you, or is that just me? That's like one of the coolest features.
Am I telling people about myself? Or are you telling them?
I'm gonna introduce you.
That's awesome.
Oh, MLO sign just dropped. Ooh, that looks way better.
Actually looks good.
No, it just fell. It's
to the corner.
Yeah.
She's a little crooked.